then you want to definitely watch this. My name is Kathy McReynolds, and I help online business owners or those who want to become one get started. And maybe you want to do a consulting business, coaching business, product business, and you want to do it online and you need more leads, you need more customers, and you just need to understand the entire process. How about doing it with biblical principles? And that's what we're going to share with you tonight. So if you're joining us, do me a favor, like I'm about to do here. Go ahead and let's hit that share button. And make sure, guys, if you don't have them, get your show notes. Get your show notes. If you are on our email list, if you're part of our email family, I'm gonna start saying that instead of list. You can have this. If you don't have it, make sure you shoot me a message, and I'll make sure you get it. Because each and every week we like to for you to be able to walk through all the training with us so that we can help you get started. So I'm going to go ahead and hit share. If you want to do me a favor and do the same thing, I would greatly appreciate it so we can get this message out to more people so that we can help you. And what we do is we help you create that business with biblical principles. And why biblical principles? Because, man, if you have to start a business, trust me, if you got to run a business and you want to get something going, doing it with God just makes sense. And I'm going to share that with you today. Plus, we're going to go through some steps of exactly what you need to do if you're sick and tired of doing business the old way, and a new way of being able to make that happen. And to do that, hold on, y'all. I got to make sure I'm getting this. Okay, I got that to our group. You want to know a new way of being able to get that done. So we're going to help you with that. So if this is your first time tuning in, make sure you say hello so we can say hello back to you. And if you're not part of our email family, make sure you do that, because I give away cool little gifts like this says, with God, all things are possible. Got Bible Business Academy on there. We got a bunch of cool stuff, cool prizes coming in. And I definitely want you to be a part of that. And most importantly, guys, we want to help you create the business that you desire, that you deserve, and so that you can go out there and impact more people. So again, if you're just now tuning in, my name is Kathy McReynolds, and what I do is I help you create an online business. So that could be a course business. Maybe you want to become a consultant, or maybe you have a product and you want to get that out. You want to do it online, and you need help with the marketing and the sales to get customers and leads. And on top of that, the bonus to it all, you want to do it with biblical principles. As I look at our scripture tonight, it talks about, it's like one of my favorites, like be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Like if you want to do something different in life, it's not in the doing, it's the doing of the mind, the transferring of the mind. So we're going to talk about that tonight. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. So I'm going to flip over to my presentation, and we're going to get things started here. So welcome again, guys. Tonight, if you're sick and tired of doing online business the old way, you definitely want to watch this. In Romans 12:12, it says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed. Anybody want to be transformed? If you're ready to be transformed, put it in the comments. Say, transform me, girl. Let's make this happen by the renewing of your mind. And how do you renew your mind? You renew your mind by putting new information into it, and then repeating that process over and over again. Study it, learn it, earnestly seeking it like you do God. And then that way you start to change. You start to see the change in you. Others will start to see the change in you. And then guess what will happen? It'll show up in your results. So that then it says, okay, this is how you know you renewed your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God will is. If you always if you want to know, well, what is God's will for my life? What is his purpose? Start with renewing your mind. And I'm going to show you how to do that, because it is all about, everything we do is all about his good, pleasing, and perfect will. So if you agree with that, can I get an amen in the comment section, whether you're watching this during the live or replay? And let me know if you are and where you're tuning in from. Also, guys, let me know what type of business that you're thinking about starting or that you want to grow online. So I'm going to start with why you want to build an online business with biblical principles. The reason why you want to do that is like some of the reasons I just shared, but I've been in business for 25 years and business has not always been great for me. I've had ups and downs years. I had, like, in 2008, like, literally I lost everything. I lost my Mercedes, my car. Well, that is my car, my home. I actually moved back to a town that my hometown that had been gone for about 25 years. And I had to start all over from zero. That was all, about 11, 12 years ago. And literally I had nothing. I remember coming back and telling my niece, hey, I need to stay with you for 2 weeks. I mean, the embarrassment of that, right? At that time, I didn't, you don't look at, when you're deep in the problem, you don't look at the problem like, oh, I shouldn't be that way. But now I do. It's completely different because I invited God into the process of growing businesses. And within, I went to work for a company for a year. At the bank as a financial advisor, the only time in the last 26 years that I've ever worked for anyone. And I can only take it for a year because I knew deep down inside of me that I wasn't created to work for someone. I was created to help other people and to create income for others. So I want to talk to you about that. I don't know what you may have been through, what your challenges are, what you face, but I can promise you this: you're not alone. If you have something that you've been through, I could probably I've been through it as well, and I can share with you some other people have. But I want you to know that once you understand that that pain is just for a season, and that pain is to help you to get to that next level in life, and if you learn to embrace it and let God, guide you through that, you're going to have so much peace throughout that process that it's not going to even bother you anymore. Like, I go through, I see, no matter, the more you make, the more challenge you're going to have. The more you grow and you're working on things, the more challenges you're going to have. Just because you say, hey, I'm giving my life to Christ and I'm going to use him in business, don't think your problems are going to go away. No, the devil's coming after you. So you got to equip yourself, transform your mind so it will not bother you. And by the way, it is not out yet, but it's almost out, depending on when you're catching this, but you can get my new book, Bible Business Secret, on Amazon. I'll let you know the date that it dropped, or it possibly, if you're catching this on a replay, it just may be out. So make sure you pick up a copy of that. Here's the question that I want to ask you, and you can follow along with me, guys. If you have your show notes, just grab your show notes. Make sure you're following along, or if you're catching this during the replay, pull them out, because that's part of transforming your mind. The reason why we have show notes every single week is because if you think something, ink something, that means write it down, and then you review it, and then you go do it. It will change your life. You got to use all of those senses when you're looking to recreate yourself. And that's what we're talking about when we say, let's do business a different way. Let's entirely do it a different way. And we're going to talk to you about that. But I want to ask you a question. And I can't see the comments right now. So if you're commenting, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to get back to you and we'll answer all of those questions for you, when I watch this afterwards. But in the comments, can you let me know, are you a wealth producer or a wealth consumer? That means, do you go out there and make money, or do you go out there and always spend money? Like, what is your focus? What are you completely focused on? Being a producer or being a consumer? So I want to challenge you all. Whatever your answer is, wherever you're at right now at this point, it is okay whether you're a producer or you're a consumer. But what I want you to ask yourself is, where do you want to go? And based on where you want to go, what are you willing to do? What's your game plan? Or do you not have one to become a wealth producer? You want to become a wealth producer. See, our promise to you at Bible Business Academy is we're going to teach you biblical skills, marketing skills, and advertising skills you need to grow an online business. Now, you may even be thinking, well, like, seriously, Kathy, what does the Bible have to do with business? Well, I can tell you this, that Jesus talked more about business, money, and those issues than even heaven and hell in the New Testaments. In the Old Testament is full of it. It's the second largest topic in the Bible. So go check that out. There's a reason why that is. So you want to ask yourself, what role do you want to play? What role does God want you to play? And if you're watching this and you watch it to the end, that means that he has something for you. You're here for a purpose and a reason. So now it's time to transfer in your mind so that you can take what's meant for you and actually make it happen for you. See, God designed us to create wealth, to produce wealth. Like, we're his co-creators. We're here to work and do his work to help him get, bring people into his kingdom, while we're building these richly things down here on earth that we can't take with us anyway. He also made a covenant, and God, he said in his word, it is there until the end. It will never change. So in that covenant, he promised us that we would have wealth, and it was designed for that entrepreneur in mind. It was designed for the person who went to do something in strange places and do things without any experience, just plain old faith. And that's what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur is that person who just has that guts to go out there and get it done. They're going to get knocked down. I just shared one of my stories of getting knocked down. I had a daycare center for 5 years, and I remember getting a text, in the middle, I don't know, it was like Tuesday, Wednesday, and the guys that I was renting the building from said, "Hey, we just sold our building, so you have 30 days to get out." I'm like, "Oh, no, I don't, because that's not the law." But I took it where I had to, I took it to 2 months because I had to let the kids of the family know. And I decided not to open that business back up. But just like that, a 10, 20, $30,000 income gone, like in a flicker. Anything can be gone in a flicker. And here's the beauty of it: because of what I had went through in 2008, I didn't budge. Like, it didn't even bother me like one iota. My mind, because it had been transformed, immediately went to what's next mode. What's next mode? What did I already have in place? How was I going to grow that? And what else did I needed to do? That's how you begin to think, not because you're good. It's because that you now, instead of relying on you rely on God. The first time around, I was like, ah. This time I'm like, okay, what's next? What do we got to do? How do we need to get it done? Let's get the pen and paper. And that's where we want to get you to. And that's doing business, doing life in an entirely different way. So let's take a look at, why does God want you to produce wealth? It ain't so you can go out and buy the fancy boats, cars, homes, take the vacations and all that. Now, can you do that? And should you do that? Absolutely. He tells you to enjoy, especially go read the book of Ecclesiastes. Is such, and the Proverbs, such great books to read and understand about life. He wants you to enjoy the fruit of your labor. He wants you to have anything that your heart desires. And all you got to do is put God first and just give him the glory on that. So first and foremost, you must understand that it's not your ability to create wealth. It's not about you. It's not about your ability. And trust me, I thought it was me for a long time. So I'm telling you now, save you a lot of time. It's not about you. Just seek him first, and your life will begin to change. And guys, be humble. Have a good heart. Keep his commandments and his rules and his statutes. Now, if I could look at all of this of the last 25 years, I could say I've always had a good heart. I can't say I was always humble, because there was some arrogance in there. Entrepreneurs, y'all know what I'm talking about. We think we know it all. We think we got it all, and we got all the answers. And God has a way of humbling you. And that's the same thing that he did with them. If you've ever been humbled by God, do me a favor and put it in the comments. Like, yes, girl, he humbled me. too. So these are the things that you want to do. And then just know that it's not yours. Like we get so caught up in like, yeah, I got to give 10%. But what about that other 90%? You think you own that too? No, you don't own that. He owns the whole 100%. So you got to learn to become a good steward of what he's giving you, what he's keeping his covenant to us, not because of us, because of what he promised. And it was because of their disobedience that all they had to wander in the desert for 40 years. Because of my disobedience, that I had to wander for like 25 something years before I fully got it and surrender. So I want to shorten your learning curve, or if you're already on that journey, we want to help you to get there faster, because everything belongs to him. And you also, once he gives that to you, here's the key: don't hold tight to it. It's not yours. Money flows. Money just keeps coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. The government will print it anytime they get good and ready to print it. And then you're like, and it's like, you didn't go make that. You didn't plant a seed. You didn't grow that money. You just got it from someone else, and and you're using it. And then it's just a trade. It's a bargain. So don't get caught up. Don't get in fights. Don't argue over money, because it's not yours. What God wants for us is to be willing to share it. He wants us to provide jobs, benefits, services, protection to others, to help the elderly, to help the fatherless, to help, the children, to help build his kingdom. And to much whom is given, much is required. So if he blesses you and that's your gift to produce wealth, make sure you have a game plan in place of how you're going to give that back, and not just the 10%. Let me get some water here. Not just the 10%, guys. I'm talking about the whole 100%. Yeah, you're going to take a percent of that out, and you're going to pay your expenses. You're going to do some things that you want, but I want you to shift your mind. As a financial advisor and sitting down with people, for decades now, so many people, they spend their money before they get it. They don't have a plan in place. And that is definitely something that we help you with in this program. That's why I said, if you're sick and tired of doing online business the old way, if no one's teaching you not just how to make that money, manage that money, then you found yourself at the right place. Now, the next thing I'm going to share with you, you can screenshot this. I'm going to go through this. I'm not going to read it all, but there's 12 biblical principles to growing your online business. I don't care if you're online or offline, because we do help people offline. Here are 12 biblical principles that you want to know, that I would like literally screenshot these, write these down. You can write them down in your show notes. There's a space there to do that. And then you put them up and commit them to memory. Why do you want to commit them to memory? Because you're going to need them. You know how they tell you to have the affirmations? Well, I call them faithformations. Have the scriptures out there that will help you to relax. As I was putting this together today on Thursdays, I put together the show notes to show everything that we're going to do. And it was like normally it takes me about 4 hours to put everything together, but it took a little extra longer today. And I'm like, okay, normally I'd be like panicking, worried. And I'm like, okay, God, I just need you to be with me. I'm almost done. Like, I just have this conversation with him. Scriptures come to me, and it gives me a peace that like I can't, like when they say peace beyond understanding, that's what you get. That's what we want to help you to get. So the number one rule is, well, there is in no particular order. Okay. Number one, be diligent and work hard. You must work hard. He said, he who has a slack hand becomes poor, but the hands of the diligent makes rich. You got to work. If you want to be an entrepreneur, you will have to work. Now, will you have to do it all the time? No. But there will be a season of your life where you're going to have to give it all. We used to always say, are we willing to go for it one more time? Because we know when you start a new business and you're willing to go for it and give it all you got, what that means is six-day work weeks. What it means is 12, 14-hour days. I'm not going to ever tell you when you're in a business that you can get it done in 10, 20 hours. Maybe in the end, once you get it all together, but in the beginning, it's grind time. Says it right there in number one. Number two, work wisely. Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom. That's why you're watching this. That's why at the end of this, I'm going to make you an offer to join us in the class so that you can get more wisdom. But in all thy getting, get it to understanding. There's tons of people who have degrees in wisdom and all of that stuff, but they don't have the understanding to make it happen, to bring it to fruition, and to see something that they had an ideal about grow. And then number three, pursue excellence. Do you see a man who excels in his work? He stands before kings, and that's Proverbs 22:29. That's because you go overboard. Like, there was that voice said, oh, you don't have to do your show notes tonight. Yes, you do, because you said you were going to do it, and you have to be of your word. You never argue with the customers. You do what you say. I had someone who came out and did some work for me, and I'm like, we have this misunderstanding, and they begin to like just battle. I'm like, whoa, hold up. Like, you don't ever, like, your customer is always right. You always agree, so that you not agree in a lying way, but like, hey, I understand how you feel, or I could probably see if I was in your shoes, you feel in that same way. And then, but here's what I found out. So your job, and even in the Bible, tells you never to argue with people, like only fools argue. So you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing. Number four, work proactively. Work proactively. Like I was talking to you guys about when I got that phone call. Well, it wasn't even a phone call. When I got a text, you got 30 days to lose, a $20,000, $30,000 a month income. Had I not had additional income streams in place and God in place, I would have been affected, but I wasn't. Had I not gone through all of the things that I went through, I would have been affected, but I wasn't, because I knew how to work proactively. In all labor, there is profit. Okay. In all labor. He didn't say some. He said in all labor, there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. You can't, we used to say, don't talk about it, be about it. You cannot talk about it. You got to be about it. And being about it means putting in the work and doing what you need to do. Number five, always be honest. Always be honest. Now, like, don't tell little white lies, or leave stuff out. Omission is a little white lie. We all did that in sales. Don't do that. Dishonest scales are an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. In all the small things that you do in your business, if you couldn't do what you said you were going to do, let them know. Let them know where you failed. Ask for their forgiveness. People are okay with that. Number six, y'all. I can spend an entire presentation on number six. Use debt sparingly. Right now, this is 2021 in April, depending on when you're watching this. And the government has been like dangling money in front of people, like, here, come get this. It's forgivable. You get low rates, or you can get this, or you can get in this program, you can do this. But I'm going to tell y'all something that my dad told me. He said, before you sign any contract, before you do anything, read it. And I'm saying to you guys, as a financial advisor, the reason why you get excited about that, the possibilities, or that money and all of that, but if you don't have that plan in place, if you don't know actually the total cost, not the interest rate, you need to know the APR. And as I said, I can do a whole training on this. You can get in trouble. That you can end up spending like 10, 20 times more money than the debt that you took out. Do you know if you take out a $3,000 like credit card debt, it will literally take you 20 years to pay that back, and you're going to pay them almost $14,000. So before you dive into that money, I want you to understand this. The government will come back to you, and you got to show records, right? So if you didn't file for these employees that all of a sudden you just created, you're going to get late filing penalties. You're going to get penalties for not filing for employees. You're going to get, like, they will tax you with so many penalties that little money that you thought that you had that come up with, it's going to be your setback. So I'm telling you now to to read what you've done. If you've already done it, go back and read it. Know what you're up against and put a plan in place to knock that debt out this year by creating a business that will change your life. Use debt sparingly. It says in business, cash is king. Like, that's in the Bible. Y'all probably thought like one of them rappers or somebody made that up. No, God said cash is king. Or as Solomon would say it, but money answers everything. That's in Ecclesiastes 7 and 12. So you want to know, like, there is nothing new under the sun. Nobody is coming up with this stuff, but God has blessed and given it to everyone so that they can have the answers to what needs to be done. Number 7, work together. You have to work together because iron sharpens iron. I have right now, it's three, well, kind of like 3 different mentorship programs that I'm in. One is the faithpreneurs, of a bunch of entrepreneurs who are already successful at the place that they want to go higher. They know a ton way more than I do. You should never be the smartest person in the room. And I meet with them weekly, and I learn stuff and grow. I'm always on trainings. I'm always going to seminars, always paying for classes. This is what you do there. Like, you should just commit to doing that for the rest of your life. You can't like, if I would have stopped learning in kindergarten and like, oh, I got this life, I got this world, I don't need to learn anymore, right? I don't pick up a book since like, no. You look back here, you see, like, I read every single day. You need to read every single day. Watch a training every single day. You want to change your life. So that's part of working together. Number 8, build relationships with experts. You got to get out there. Now, like, by nature, I call myself an introvert. And it was just in a label that I put on me. And still, like, I get nervous when I'm meeting people for the first time, or I have to speak. Like, it's okay if I'm one-on-one with you, but I've spoken on stages, but I still, in the beginning, sometimes will get that little cracked voice or tears will come out. But guess what? I pray my way through it. I push my way through it, and I do it anyway. That's how you have to do. And the only way you're going to get to know new people is to get out of your surroundings. Go meet people, go to seminars, get on Zooms, start messaging and talking to people, see where they're at, because without counsel, plans go awry. They will fail. But in the multitudes, it didn't say, that's why I say have many, several. In the multitude of counselors, they are established. If you have a plan to grow your business and it's not growing the way that you want it to grow, but you know that you know what about your stuff, you just are not maybe getting the marketing or the advertising or the content or your copy and all of that right, that's where you need the help at. So the counsels in these days are just experts like myself who know stuff, who can help you get there faster. Number 9, y'all. Make sure y'all writing this down. Long-term game plan. You gotta be in it. Like, put together a decade game plan. When we have this book here that says The Art of Time Management and Work, and inside of here we have like a 10-year goal game plan. See down there, it says 10. I don't know if you guys can see that. It says 10 years. This is one of the workbooks that you'll also get as a member of our academy. Right there, you'll get that, because here's why. Not because I said it or came up with it, because the word said, the plans of the diligent lead surely to plenty. The plans of the diligent. See, this is being diligent when you write stuff down. It is being diligent when you have counselors. It's being diligent when you have a game plan and you can go back and you can check and you're working on it. But those who are hasty, you trying to let me get that quick money. Let me get that quick money. It's going to come and it's going to go. Trust me, I've been there, right? It's going to come and it's going to go. And like the Bible said, it will lead to poverty. And we don't want that for you. And let's knock out these last 3. Create assets. What is assets, y'all? What assets are is like when I put this together, when I put some of our copy together, there have been copies that have last like 3, 4 decades that people haven't changed. I want you to think of commercials. I want you to think of books that are out there. See, if you build your business right, it may take you a good 2, 3 years to get the entire foundation in place. But once it's in place, you're getting results, you're helping people, you're changing people's lives. Those assets, just like the books that your kids have been going through school and your grandkids have been using over and over again, all you need to do is go back and adjust them and put the foundations in. Think about how long the Bible has been around. Think about how long, like how many different editions of that it is, but nothing has changed. The word is still the word. What he said is what he said, and it was from the beginning, and it'll be here to the end. And so you can create a business. That's what this is about. Something that will last you for decades and years. Then once you get to that point, that's when maybe you're only working 15, 20 hours on your business, and now you're taking the other 40, 60 hours. You're out there volunteering, you're helping people, you're changing people's lives, you're serving your church, you're serving your community, you're meeting with people, you're opening up your homes. These are things that the word tells us to do. This is why God gives us the wealth to be able to help provide for these things, so that we can tell people about him, his goodness, and get them closer to him. And so it says that wealth gained hastily will divide. If it's hastily, that means it's quick. When people say get wealth quickly, there's no such thing as get rich quick. It is like the people who get the lottery. As soon as they get it, they lose it. But whoever gathers little by little will increase. So little by little, it could be like, hey, they wonder for 40 years. It could be 25 years that I've been in this process of journey of working to create wealth. So you got to look at, it's not where you're at, it's what you learn, what you're doing, and where you're going. Number 11, know that your work is for God's glory first. Give him the glory, give him the praise, give him the honor for that. He said, unless the Lord builds the house, unless who builds the house? The Lord, unless you, unless John, unless, no, he said, unless the Lord builds the house, their labor in vain who build it. They labor in vain, the one who built it. Unless God has built that and he guards that and he watches that, he has to be 100% on it in order for it to last forever. That is the only thing. If it falls, that means that he wasn't ready for you to have it. So don't get all upset. Just be like, okay, you need me to learn something else. What do you need me to do? What do you need me to learn so I can go and become who you want me to become? And the final one, guys, these are 12 biblical principles. As I said, there are over 100 the ability to create wealth. You don't give it to you, he gives it to you. It says, but you shall remember with profound respect. With profound, like it says, you shall remember with profound respect. When you think of the word profound respect, that means the utmost, not like to the president or to the queens or the king, like the profound respect the Lord your God, for it is he. It says it is he who gives you the power to make wealth, that he may confirm his covenant. It's not about you. It's not about what you want. It's about him and his word and what he said that he solemnly promised to your fathers as it is in this day. Like as it is. He promised that. And because he said it, he got to do it, right? Because that was his promise. So make sure that you take these 12 biblical principles, put them up. Stop doing business the world way. Stop doing business the old-fashioned way. Even if it's not with me, you want to get out there and do it God's way. So now that was a mouthful. Why become a coach, consultant, or service provider? Now, this, you've been sticking around here for this time and you might be like, I don't want to do any of that. Or maybe you want to do a product. I don't even have that at. So let's talk about that. What that is, you sell your expertise. So maybe you're great at accounting. Maybe you are a great jump roper. Maybe you know how to sew. You have a skill, a talent, or a gift that maybe you can cook good. Whatever it is, you're a financial advisor, whatever. You might do it well on your job, or maybe you have a brick and mortar business. You have a restaurant. I was just talking to a lady today. She wants a food truck. I say, great. Get the food truck. then what I want you to do is start taking a journal of everything that you do, because once you have that up and is successful, then there are other people just like you who also want to have a business. You can shorten their learning curve and you can take your knowledge and then you can teach them about what you know. So that's the key right there. You want to be able to teach people everything that you know. You make money from your knowledge. The knowledge industry is the third industrial revolution, according to Forbes. When you look at, it was the railroads, it was the internet marketing, and all of that stuff. I'm not a history buff, but those are some of the things that revolutionized the way we do business. A $350 million a day industry, and I'm sure since we went through this COVID, depending on when you're watching this, everybody like switched to online. I had been online for 3 years, so it was nothing different to me, but I guarantee you that's probably double, triple. So if you were in the game or you're getting in the game, it's a great time to get started. It's projected to be $1 trillion industry by 2025. That will change. That will break all types of records, but will it be one of yours? And across the globe, you don't just have to work in your city and your local area. You can get on here, hop on a live, hop on a Zoom, and talk to people around the world in different globes. Who is this for? It's for that person out there. If you desire to build a business and you want to do it with biblical principles, then like what I'm talking to you about is for you. If not, you probably got off here a long time ago. And even if you like guys, I'm not a preacher or anything like that. I just have a belief. So even if you don't know what you should be saying, if you want to follow God, or what you should be saying, or how to do it, it's okay. Like, we all have a starting place. Don't like take your chapter 1, or not even open the book yet, against somebody else chapter 10, 15, or 20, because everybody has their own journey. So just ride your journey. Our goal is to help you feel comfortable wherever you at, and then take you where you want to go. You have knowledge that can help people solve a huge problem. Maybe you've gotten a divorce, and you went through a really hard time, and now you're able to help other women going through that you can solve a huge problem. Maybe you know how to get out of debt, or you face bankruptcy, and now somebody else is going through that. You can help them. Maybe you're a great cook, and you can you can cook really well, and you want to help someone with that. I mean, like, look at Rachel Ray and all of those different shows that were on TV. You can help people with that. There is something that you probably have a gift or skill or talent about, and you don't even know it. That's what the knowledge business is about. You have integrity and you want to serve others. Go back to those 12 biblical scriptures there. You are ready and willing to invest in yourself and your business. It's just like going to college. It's just like going to school. The only difference, guys, is you're not learning from somebody who is only teaching you on theory, and you're willing to work hard. You're willing to work smart. I've already shared with you all the stuff that we talked about, the scriptures that tell you you got to work hard and you won't eat. Your poverty will come and like a thief in the night and snatch your house, your clothes, your everything you have right from underneath you. And building a business is not for the weak. This, like, the entrepreneurship game is not for the weak. The ones who want to follow Christ is not for the weak. It's not for the people who crumble like a cracker anytime something happens. It's for those people who say, bring it on, what you got, because I know that I got God on my side, and He will be the one who will get me through. If you desire to live a positive life and impact people and make this world better and live out your purpose, it is definitely for you. Now, we have several different academies that you can get in, guys. With us. Like, here's a whole list of different academies and memberships that we have. But today I'm speaking to those of you who are just getting started. We call this the Genesis Get Going Academy. The Genesis Get Going Academy. So this academy is for you, and here's what it'll help you do. It'll help you renew your thoughts about the Bible and business. Like, How does all that work together? Like what are we talking about? You can't separate them. Trust me, I tried. They always come back together. It also helps you understand finances and favor. What's that about? I take my 25 years of being a licensed financial advisor. Like I have a Series 7 license that like I can sell stock on the New York Stock Exchange, on Wall Street. I don't say that to impress you, but to impress upon you, like not a lot of people who are teaching how to do courses can say they have that. And with that knowledge, not only can we teach you how to make money, we can teach you what to do with it. We're going to help you discover your calling, your gift, your purposes. There's a set of questions that you'll get in the first day or two. Because if you're like, I don't know what I want to do, I don't know where I'm good at, so you're procrastinating about getting started, don't even worry about that. We're going to help you find something. What I find is a lot of people, they start off saying, I want to do this, I want to help somebody with this, and they change their mind after they go through the research. So we'll help you with that. We're going to pinpoint market challenges. Here's how, most people, they go about business the wrong way. They go find a product, they try to market that product, and then no one buys it. What you want to do is you want to go find a problem. You want to go find something that's wrong, and then you want to fix it, and then you want to go and market it. So we help you with that. We also help you prepare powerful, purposeful, biblical business solutions. Why do we do that? Why do they have to be powerful? Why do they have to be biblical and purposeful? Because he said, if your plan cannot be hasty. Your plan has to be a plan that's going to transform lives, that's going to help people. And we also going to help you provide mission marketing mechanics. So there's about like 86 different marketing strategies that you're not going to learn in this class, but we're going to teach you some of them. And then we have our membership after that, where you can continue that process and keep learning and growing. Be transformed. That's how you're transformed. And then you want to have servant selling solutions. We're going to talk more about that later. And profit with a purpose. Like I done made money, all kinds of ways, with purpose, without purpose. And I can tell you, the money that you make with a purpose, you don't even think about that money. You're more focused on the life that you just changed. You're more focused on the difference that you just made. And that money becomes just like, oh, okay, they paid me for doing this. Like I really get paid for this, because you love it so much that it doesn't seem like work. There's a 4-step process to getting your business started online. Number one, we start with selling group coaching. So what that means is that we get you set up in the beginning. We help you start a Facebook, show you how to get a Facebook group. I know most of you guys know how to do that. But what we do is we set up all the marketing so that people, number one, are aware. A lot of y'all like secret agents. People don't know you in business because you don't talk about it, or you talk about it so much. Like I get so many friend requests. And when I just see blast, you go down through their thing, and all they ever talk about is they don't give value. They're just like, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff, come buy my stuff. We're going to teach you how to get a beta group, just like a big company does, but with, the budget that you're working with. We're going to teach you how to put together a group of 7 to 10 people to work with them. You utilize them to help you to develop your program. And while you're doing that, you're going to be giving them discounts and different things like that, so that you can make sure that you're getting results and that it works. And then step number 2, you're going to teach, you're going to record, and you're going to correct. So the way it's set up, every single week, you're going to be creating lessons, or you're going to be introducing your product. And then you have a week to go, that's 160 hours you have to go get that next lesson ready. And even before you go to that next lesson, you want to make sure the one that you just gave out the week ago is working. Because if it's not working, you got to tweak it, not twerk it. You got to tweak it so that it will work good. So that's why you want to have, we call it course correct as you go. You want to have weekly live trainings and Q&A sessions. Ask questions. get feedback, build relationships where people will tell you the truth and not what you want to hear. And then you'll create course testimonials so that you can get your, people will start saying good things, not about you, but the results that they got. People don't like, people are in that radio station, WFON, what's in it for WIFM, what's in it for me? People only care about what's in it for them until you get God on your side. And then you realize it's not even about you, and you change, your mindset changes. But when you do that, you get the testimonies, and then you go back and you can re-record everything, and then you can package it up. Now, guess what? You have that asset. That asset is created, and you can start building your business on demand. You don't have to be here to do it. It will automatically do it for itself, just like it does now, just like thousands of other people are doing. You're watching a video, you're taking some tests and class, whatever, and you're implementing. That's all you do. And then the fourth and final step, guys, is to create a brand show. That's different than what most do, but just like I do here, you guys know every Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Bible Business Academy will be live sharing a tip or a training. So think about this. If you go live every single week for a year, that's 52 different shows. It's called brand shows, right? Just like they do on TV, you can do reruns, during the summertime when you're out. You can then start replaying the episodes. You can get a whole year's worth in. And then after you get to the point where you're starting to get that freedom and you don't have to be there, you can set it up and it comes live automatically because you're preset up with that. That's something that we show you in some of our other academies, but that's the goal, to get it to where the marketing, the branding, the funnels, and the automation and the scaling and all of that is taken care of without human interactive, without you being there. And now you've hired a team and you have people in place. See, here's a huge problem. If you guys got questions, make sure you hit those in the comments and I'll make sure I get back to them. And then also, guys, I can't stress enough, make sure you got your show notes out, even if you have to pause this, because I know sometimes I can talk a mile a minute, right? If the huge problem people have online is that a lot of people, they try to sell an online course, they try to sell a training product, programs, they try to sell these products and nothing's working. 90% of them fail and they go out of business. They're not successful, even though they're experts at what they do, even though they do it good on their job, even though they've been helping people. They just don't know how to market. See, you're not a bread maker. You're a marketer who happens to make bread. You're not an accountant. You're a marketer who happens to be an expert at an accountant. I'm not although I'm a financial advisor, I'm a marketer who happens to understand how to help people with their finances. So you have to understand and shift that mind. You have to become a marketer. You have that has to be your number one focus so that you can get your message out. I don't care how good it is. It's just like there's tons of people out there with degrees or ideas that they go to their grave with, or they have degrees and they're not working in that business because they don't even know how to market themselves to get a job. To go ahead. I remember when I was telling you guys I lost that job and I came here within like literally I'm driving from DC to Ohio. I see an ad in, I think it was Craigslist at that time. I called them up at the bank and I said, hey, my name is Kathy McReynolds. I've been licensed at that time is for 13 years. And I see that you guys need a financial advisor. I want to set up a time to come in and speak with you so that you can bring me on board. Can we do that today? See, I closed them. They didn't have to close me. I knew what I wanted, so I knew how to market myself to get that. That's what we want to teach you how to do. That's why people fail, because they don't know how to market themselves, or they never get started because they don't know what to do. Or they have an idea. I just wrote that book, and like the guy said to me who's editing it right now, he's like, well, how long did it take you to write it? I'm like, about 3 days. I just sat down and you got it done. Now, do I know if it'll be good? Do I know if it'll be a bestseller? Like, I know the information in it is, but I did write another one before, but to get it published on Amazon and all of that, this will be the first time. But guess what? My mentor said, you need a book. You need to write one. So I set my little fanny down for 72 hours, and that's all I focus on. And I got it done, sent it over to the editor, and said, okay, done. Done is better than perfect. And, then you go to the next one. Then you go to the next one. That's what an entrepreneur does. That's what we want to help you with. See, there's other challenges that you have to face. And I share this with you because I don't want you to think that this is an easy ride. When you want to grow a business or online expert, you're the only one. If you try to do everything, like a lot of this, I just hired someone as a copywriter to take the load off of some of this stuff so that I could start doing other stuff. I'm also looking for salespeople that I could start hiring. You can only do so much one-on-one coaching. We have another business. I have another business that sells non-invasive equipment to investors and to chiropractors and medical offices. And I have commission-only salespeople who work on that. So the leads come in, they make the phone call so that it frees me up to be able to do the other things. That's what you want to do. That's what business is about. You can build it like however you want. You get to decide that, because you're limited by your time. So you got to decide, do you want to be a lifetime entrepreneur? Do you want a brick and mortar? Do you want to be in there? Like, what are you searching for? I know I want freedom. I want to be able to go out, open up Bible Business Academy all around the world, in different places. I want to be able to, expand it where we're training and helping people with different skills like construction and all of that stuff. If you look on the back of your show notes and the information you will send, you'll see our whole game plan. So because of that, these are the challenges. See, you think when you build a business, challenges don't come. They're just different. They're just different types of challenges. So these are the ones that we have now, and we're providing solutions for them. And so you got to get your message out to the masses, because just you knowing it, or just you singing in the shower and nobody's hearing that beautiful voice, or getting to take advantage of what you have, you're not changing anyone's life. You're not helping anyone. I'm always saying to myself, you got to get out there more. You got to help more people. You got to become seen. We call it omnipresent. You got to get omnipresent. So whenever they're online, wherever they're at, whether it's radio, TV, billboards, all of that, you need to be on that. So watch out, watch what's coming, watch what's about to happen. And as we do it, we're going to teach you how to do it. Not because of us. Remember, it's because God has given us grace and favor in order to make that happen, because of his promise and his covenant to get that done. And you want to create those assets. I've talked about that. You want to make them long term, and the goal is 10 years. Is this fundamental? It's just like, football. My dad coached football. I'm a big football fan, and I always listen to coaches train and read their book. Vince Lombardi is the football trophy. If you guys don't know that, this is not a football, I know that. But at the beginning of each season, he would take that football and he would hold it up to people who have been playing ball forever. And he would say, this here, folks, is a football. And he would start with the basics. That's what training camp is about. I don't care if you've been on there, on the team, you a star, you're showing up to game day. LeBron James, I guarantee you, he still show up early and leave late in the gym, training, got coaches. That's what you do when you want to you always want to strive for that next level. You got to get out there and make it happen. See, there are solutions to success. And when you want to start an online business and sell your gift and expertise or knowledge or product, there is great potential of making money within your first 3 weeks of getting started. So it's not like you got to take forever to get there. You can make money, and it's by us teaching you a process called consulting conversations, consulting selling, where you're going to be physically reaching out to people in Messenger and doing things like that. Now, you don't want to do that forever. I've been recruiting people forever, like hundreds of thousands of people, and I've been the number one recruiter and produce other number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 recruiters. That's a lot of work. We would literally work 18, 20-hour days doing that to get there. We teach you how to get people to raise their hand and come find you. When you can get people to raise their hand, come find you, and then you have a sales team, to help them, that's butter, baby. That's where you want to be. You want to be in that sweet spot. Just like when you're watching that game, you're like, woo, they're in the zone. You want to get in the zone, and then you want to automate, and then after you automate, you begin to sell. And then finally, once you get to that point, everything starts to work like it's supposed to work because God said it would. He said, if you're diligent, if you do it piece by piece, and you're not hasty with it. So never despise small beginnings. Never talk about where you're at. Never think the process is going slow. Always ask the question, am I doing the right thing today in order to create the life that I want to do and want to have? And when you're in the knowledge business, because you create this stuff once and you don't have to worry about creating it again, and you can, it could be a brick and mortar, it could be whatever, 90% of the profit you get to keep because a lot of your employees are 1099. Now, when I ran my daycare center, like 50% right off the bat went away because the government took like 23% of it. Then you had to pay rent. Yet, like, there's so many things that had to go out before we even got paid. And that's what I love about this type of business. You get 90% of the profits. That means, like, think about the number of people the kids you can help feed, the elderly you can help take care of, the buildings that you can have, the churches you can have, the community, your family, that new home, that new car, that vacation, that lifestyle that you want. This is when you can begin to get those things because you get to keep a lot of that profit. So we want to show you how to do that. And even in product business, is still a great business and 45% of that profit. Let's take a look at the numbers and see what's possible, because I want you to paint a picture. You got to have a plan in place. And I didn't have that scripture on there, but there's a scripture where Jesus is telling a parable about, the rich man. He said, like, who of you would like say that you're going to build a tower and you don't sit down and you don't put a plan in place and you don't count your costs? So you got to count your costs. Not only do you got to know what's coming into you, you got to know what's going out. So if we look at what's going out in the knowledge business, if you have 100 people that opt into your lead bag, then I don't have time to get into what that is. That just means they gave you a phone number, name, and your email address, and 15 of the 100 book a phone call. Like, that's people who are interested, not people that you're like messaging and trying to get them to be interested. That's people who are interested, and maybe it costs you like $10. Okay, who would pay $10 to make 2,000? Like, all day, every day, right? Only 3% of them buy your program. So only 3, and you charge $2,000 for that program. So that means that you just made almost $6,000. And imagine, that's just like, you can do that in a week. You can do that in a day. It doesn't matter. You can do it in an hour. It just depends on how much money you're willing to put into ads. In the beginning, this is why we have you go through that beta test, take that money, and then the money that you make in that beta test, you use that to get ads. So you're not constantly getting the messenger, getting banned from Facebook, blocked and all that. Trust me, I've been there and I know that. So let's take a look at why success is predictable. We already know the biblical reason why. Now I'm going to show you what Facebook has set up that like is the bomb diggity, and you don't have to worry about it. All you got to do is know what numbers. Like, this is cookie cutter. Once you know the information to feed into it, it's just going to pop out to you all the time. Like, every time my phone dings and a lead pops through, I'll be like, thank you, God, thank you, God, like, thank you, God, like, thank you, God. Sometimes it'll pop in the middle of the night, 24/7, 7 days a week, and I'm not on. I went live one time for like almost 2 years in a row, right? I get more leads because I'm advertising, and then I can take this video that I'm watching now, and then I can run an ad to that I'm making right now. I can run an ad to this. And so without me in Messenger reaching out to people, talking to people, works perfect for like these, introvert type people. And even if you are that aggressor and go-getter, you don't have that much time. So it's only you, Facebook makes it predictable, guys. You can go in here and they're always changing. I don't know when you're watching this, if this is up to date or not, but if you're in the game every single day, you know what's happening. But you can target who you want to target. Like I know that most people, now there'll always be somebody that's outside of that. Most people who come into my audience, they're generally between 35 to 45, and for the most part, male, or 45 to 55 male, my clients over some female. But as you see this clicking here in Facebook, we can go in and we can put, I can go in, I could put like Les Brown, I could put Joel Osteen, I could put TD Jakes, and then I could put their names, and then I could put online business. And then that's where I can get my leads from. I'm doing that now, and that means that anybody who sees my ad, one out of 100 people who see my ad, on average, since I've been running that same ad since November, 68 people out of 100 give me their information. Why? Because I learned marketing. I learned copywriting. I learned what to say. I learned how to do it. Now, that's a 68% opt-in rate. Before, when I first got started, it was like 5-10%, and then it would go up to like 20, and then it would drop back down. But because of learning these skills, understanding Facebook, understanding what to do, this is where it comes from. That means that if you like something, if your client liked a page, if they're searching for something, Facebook, who has billions of dollars to go out there and spend, they'll go find that customer for you. And then we take our clients that, the people that opt in, we load them back up. This is in the second part of, in another class, and we go get more people like that. So once you get this dialed in, I promise you, your life will change. So don't worry about where everybody else is at. Just worry about where you want to go and where it wants to take you. It's all this stuff that puts it on. And even with the changes with Apple and all of that coming out, we still have a solution for you, and we're going to help you with that solution. So it is definitely predictable. And what you're going to do, guys, we show you how to connect with your leads immediately via text, phone call, video, voice message, email, lumpy mail. Like I said, there's like 87 different strategies that we're going to be not in, over throughout the, next 3 or 4 years. That's how long we want you to be around, decades. Have purposeful conversations about their goal. Whenever you're talking to somebody, don't get caught up like in talking about your business. And I was like queen of talking about my business. So I can like literally say this to you. Don't do that, right? And that, like, I think this is like the 4th or 5th or 6th, I don't know, business name change that I've had, and it's all still the same thing, doing the same stuff. Why? Because I didn't get it at that time. I thought it was about the name, the brand, and all of that. No, it's not about that. It's about the transformation. It's about the lives you're changing. It's about the difference that you're making. So all of that, don't pay money to build a brand. Do things like your brand show, post stuff, help people, get testimonies. All of that stuff will take your brand and it will bring it to fruition. So we will help you with that. We will also help you show you how to complete strategy calls and discovery calls and see if it even makes sense. I know what we do is not for everyone. It's going to repel people. Even like God said, the road is narrow. Not everybody's going to do what you do. It's the 80-20 Pareto rule. Only 20% of the people are going to raise their hands and actually join, and then of those 20, only 20% of them, 5 of them will actually do something, and then 20% of them, 1 of them will actually create success. So out of 100 people who come into your business, you may get 1 long-term success game plan. Why? Because that's just the way it is. That's just the way life is. Have a back-end marketing plan and a follow-up plan. So important. And then you wash, rinse, repeat. Do the same thing over and over again. So in closing, I want to ask a few questions for you to ask yourself. These are in your show notes. I literally want you to take some time to sit down and write these things out. And how you answer these next questions will help you to determine if it's a good fit for you or not. So question number one, do you have a system in place to create systematic sales, marketing, and advertising programs that will get you leads, leverage, and customers on demand without fail? So can you get customers whenever you want it? Like a faucet, turn it on, turn it off. Do you know exactly what to say on a phone consulting call? So when I told you guys, when I was like at that moment where I went to work for someone in a year, because I've been training salespeople for 13 years, I knew how to sell myself. I knew what to say. Shy or not, you want something, you got to go get it. You got to, put on your big girl or boy pants and go make it happen, right? So do you know what to say? Do you know how to handle any objections that they're going to give you? Or do you get all flustered and over talk and oversell? Do you know how to set up an automated phone conversations with pre-qualifying questionnaire? Like, you want to eliminate people from your system who are not ready to be there. Now, you go live, you do all of this stuff for the masses, but just like Jesus did, he had the 12 disciples that he spoke to differently than the crowd. They even asked him, teacher, why do you teach us differently than you teach everyone else? He said, because they're not ready. So I got to teach to them in stories. I got to teach to them in parables. I have to share to them in a broader sense. It's like I can't tell them how to go make the cake. In the 12, he's going to tell you how to get it done. That's why you want to pre-qualify. You want to find people who are ready where you're at, or you can have different programs and meet them at different levels. So we help you with that. Do you know how to properly ask for the sale without being salesy, or teach someone how to? So crucial. I remember we had an event when I was a financial advisor, and I trained a lot of people, helped a lot of people, and it was probably like 3,000-4,000 people at this particular one. And we literally had the number 1, 2, and 3, and I think maybe 4. It was like 4 of us on stage, but I didn't count myself in that. But we were like number 1, 2, 3, and 4 of everybody out there. And the reason why is because we practice more than everyone else. We drill more than everyone else. So I had them on stage, and I remember just saying, say your line, say your line, say your line. And without fail, they all just said it. They said it. They said it. They said it. It was like, they didn't even think about it. They didn't have notes in front of them. Now, did they start out that way? Absolutely not. But guess what? Every single morning before we got on that phone, we drill. We would call midnight madness. That means I would call them about 10 o'clock at night and like, hey, get to the office. We're going to train. We would get to our office at midnight. Like, yeah, guys, you heard that right, at midnight. And we would train at 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Why? Because we were a team. We wanted to win. We wanted to dominate. We wanted to change lives. We wanted to make it happen. So when you're looking to fight for your family, to be able to fight for your life and do things like that, that's what it takes. That's what it takes to get things done. And so we pair you up with people so that you can work with them so that you can get something done. Now, I probably scared some of y'all off already, and that's great, because right now, maybe this is not for you. Maybe one of our memberships are for you until you get ready to come into this game plan. Do you know exactly what to say in your email follow-up campaign? I remember one of the trainings I went to, because like some people, and I get it, because there was a time when I thought, oh, you can't share everything. Like, literally, let me tell you something. Teach everything you know. Don't hold back, because if you're like literally, this leader was like saying, hey, I'm not going to show everything. Like, why? We already paid for it. Like, so then that means that I feel you're holding back. No, we don't hold back anything. We're going to tell you everything, and you're going to always want to know everything. Teach people everything. Why? Because most people won't do it anyway, right? But you did what God told you to do, and you gave them everything you had, and you made it happen. So make sure you do that. We also are going to talk to you about our front door mail campaigns and what that involves and what that looked like and why you want to get into that. You can see this box right back here. This is one of our, we call this our shock and awe box. I don't know if you can see that. You see that? You're going to get this in the mail. And when you get this in the mail, it's going to be full of a bunch of goodies and all of that stuff with all your trainings and everything in it. So we're going to have that for you. I don't even know if you guys can see that. You see that there, probably in front of me because I can't see myself on the camera there. You're going to get that. We're going to show you how to do Facebook, Instagram, YouTube ads, how to set them up, how to scale them, how to have a predictable plan in place for advertising. I don't have that book here, but there's a marketing an advertising game plan that you're going to have on exactly how to work your game plan. Like we ain't leaving nothing out. Here it is right here. We ain't leaving nothing out, y'all. We want you to win. We want you to succeed. You see that there? It says your marketing and advertising winning game plan. You're going to have a complete game plan of every single thing that you do. You're going to get these physically in the mail to you so that you can have that. Do you have that in place now? If not, why not? Do you know exactly what you should be charging for your program and how to over deliver in value? See, what did we talk about? Over delivering in value and create a transformational customer experience. It must be transformational. If you did not answer yes to not some of these questions, all of these questions, the only next best thing to do is seek some wise counsel, get some help in what you're doing. And if I'm that person, I would love to help you. If not, find someone that you can relate to, you like, you trust, who can help you. Because the truth is, it's not easy. It's not easy being an entrepreneur. It's not easy being a Christian. But is it worth it? You better believe it is worth it. So I want to talk to you now about how to choose someone to help you. Do you like them? Do you trust them? Do they have results? Will they provide direct support? In addition, like if I just sent you all of this stuff in the mail and then I never talked to you after that, this means nothing. It's just like, a book that you read, you're like, okay, I read it. I know what the words mean. Some of them I had to look up or ask Google to let me know what it meant, but I don't get it. I don't understand it. That's why we're there, to help you with that support. So if you're looking at that 8-week, the first 3 weeks, you're going to be doing like your goal, your research. And then at the end of that, you're going to start pre-selling. And then you're going to start setting together your outline for your course or your product or whatever you're going to do. And then after that, we start in the different strategies that I was sharing with you back then. I'm going to just breeze through this syllabus so you can get an idea what week 1 is about building belief. Some of the things on there, and we're not just looking at your business, we're looking at your life, your faith, your family, your fitness, your friends, your freedom, everything that you need to do. We're putting a game plan in place. Week 2, we're talking about scouting success. I should change that to finding out what the problem is, and if you want to solve it, the who, the problem, the niche, the research, the hacking, crafting your message, putting together your minimum success bar, like what is good, what do you just need to get done? And then we're going to look at the problems that you have out there, how to attract that ideal customer, talking about, your press release, regrouping, your traffic, your warm, your cold, your paid, all of that different traffic, your Dream 100, how to get everything launched and going. And then in your last week 5, we're going to talk about your Facebook ad games, all of that stuff that I shared with you. You're going to learn it. Like literally, you're going to get a marketing degree in about 10 weeks, right? You're going to know a lot of this stuff. It's just going to be like a crash course of everything. Roll your sleeves up. Now you can work at your own pace on it. Some people go through it right away. Some people take time. Some people take a year off and then they come back. Wherever you're at, guys, we're there to meet you where you need to go. Week 6, we're going to talk about your hook, your story, and offer, getting out there, offering what your sequence, bringing it all together, doing your mock-ups, getting everything set up, your lead magnets and all of that. Week 7, we're talking about the circle of communication. Like, what do you need to have in place? The email sequences, your email templates, your lumpy mail, different things like that. Nobody, who else talked to you about lumpy mail? You're probably what is lumpy mail? These are things that we're going to be sharing with you that people aren't doing it. So if you're sick and tired of doing things the old way, way, in the way most people do it, then this is for you. We're also going to help you put together a funnel. Websites are dead. Like like people, like they're like, I want to build my website for what? You don't even know how to get traffic to it. You don't need a website in the beginning. That comes after success and all of that. What you need is a funnel, a landing page, a place where people will land. Like I said, out of 100 people who land on my landing page, on my funnel, out of 168% on average give me their information. Why is that? Because we have a compelling message there for them in all of those areas, and we want to help you do the same. And then our bonuses is the webinar systems, and we, what we do is to teach you how to do your own show, and kind of like webinar. That's what this is here tonight. And then we're going to teach you how to launch that, do some other stuff, workshops, different things like that, follow up, like nothing will be left out. And we're going to always show you how to track the numbers. Inside of there, you'll have a tracking sheet where you can track your numbers. I always say, you think it, you review it, you do it, you ink it, and then you change your mind. Be transferring by your mind. And then the next 90 days, like, you're just not here for 8 weeks and you're gone. No, you're going to be here for like 6 months and a whole year if you get into our membership program after this, so that you're constantly being updated and you're constantly being fed. So if it makes sense to work together, here's what you'll get. You're going to, just to recap that, you're going to get that 8-week training program. You're going to get 3 bonus weeks. You're going to be our bronze membership program. That's going to be gifted to you for the entire year. Clear and complete directions from A to Z on what to do. You're going to get weekly pre-recorded and live sessions, weekly group Q&A sessions and community, monthly one-on-one sessions for 6 whole months, y'all. That means that when you're in this course, we're getting on a Zoom, just you and I, and we're going to talk about your business. And we can, even if we need to do that more than that, we're going to make sure that you get it so that you can get it. And you'll have lifetime access to this training. Now, with that being said, guys, my fee is not cheap, right? Just like you go buy, that purse, that card, and all of that stuff, you want the best of the best, right? So here's the great news. You only have to sell a few copies of this course to cover your costs. Now, I know this isn't for everyone, and this is where a lot more will already go ahead and sign off. And I know it sounds like some sort of tent or a takeaway selling, but that's not my angle here at all. The real reason I say it is because when you see people say the word group, they immediately think of mastermind, right? You think of a mastermind, and that's not what this Bible Business Academy is all about. See, the main reason that people will join Bible Business Academy, and the main reason why you want to join, is because you get to network and exchange other ideas with successful entrepreneurs. I'm telling you, it is golden to be able to do this. I just spent last weekend on a 3-day conference. I have another one besides my weekly ones that I do. I have another 2-day one in May, and I have another 3-day one in June. No, yeah, what month are we? A month after that, and then there's a couple more. So before this year is out, like, I'll probably have been at 6 different trainings. And you're like, well, don't you get it by now? Yeah, you get it, but you get it better. It's just like, that would be like LeBron say, you know what? I got all these championships. I don't ever need to practice again. No, you go to practice, you get coaches, you get trainings, you get better. That's how Tiger was able to come back when he came back, because he went and got coaches, he got training, he got better. So, and so that's why you want to be around other entrepreneurs. Go back to one of the rules, to the biblical principles: iron sharpens iron. And of course, you're going to meet people. Of course, you're going to, get to know people. But I want you to know the real reason why you want to be around others. And even in the word, it tells you, like, as you're building his kingdom, your church, it tells you, don't stop meeting in the church. Don't stop getting together in small groups. Like that's like literally in the Bible. I don't like belong to a church, but I'm like, okay, since I'm changing my life here, I got to find me one that I got to get into so that I can start practicing, those principles. So I'm not, I didn't beat myself up and like, oh, you got, now I listen to one every single day online. Like I go to church online every single morning. It's like the first thing that I do as soon as I wake up. But now I know because I'm studying and I'm seeking and I'm learning God's word that he said in the Bible, and it doesn't change, that you need to get your butt over there and you need to meet with people and you need to do those things. So those are the same principles that we're putting in our business. Why? Because he knows that when you have those small groups, those intimate sessions, you can be yourself. You can share with people what you're going through. And these are lifetime relationships that you're going to build, and it will help you to get better. So a profitable business with less stress is part of that. The reason why, when I was telling you guys, we were hitting all of those success back there, because we had a team. And when you have that team, you can crush that dream. You can make it happen. And the main thing with that team, make sure that God is your coach on that, your CEO. And that means that you can impact more people and you can make more money. So we just talked about some of the things that you get. And if we take you on as a client, because we don't take on everyone as a client, now you can become part of our membership program. That's completely different. And you follow our advice, you will get a positive return on your investment, and you'll enjoy the process. You got to embrace the journey. If he gives you peace beyond understanding, that goes for business as well. Even in the midst of problems, this means less stress and more freedom. All the masterminding and networking and other stuff that you're going to get, it's just a bonus. But what God can give you and that peace is like you can't even put a price tag on that. So I am 100% confident, not because of me, because of him, as to what this can happen and the results that you can get. And just like it says here, guys, first reason is because of God, because we know he is with us. The next reason is because of you, because I know that if you sat here and you watched all this and now you made a decision that you want to be a part of this, you know the work, I laid it all out for you to let you know it's going to require work for you, and with no apology, because that's what the word says. So if we choose to accept you as a client, it's because you already got forward momentum. So look at your life, look at your business and say, you already say, I got things happening. I got this business started, or I know what I want to do. I already have something in process. That means that you're not a newbie, because we have other programs for you on that. But this one is for that person who already has something in place, and it's not a get rich quick type. No magic pill, no like, genie. God is like not this genie. Like he will take his time in his will and let you go through stuff to humble you. He let them go through the desert for 40 years, but wow, they were going through it. He made sure that they ate, that their shoes didn't wear off, that they were taken care of. So he has always taken care of me throughout this journey. He will do the same for you. It means you're already successful at something. Maybe no one else knows about it but your family, but you're successful at something. And it means that you want more. And the challenge isn't your work ethic. I don't have to call you and like, where you at? Are you going to show up? Because you automatically already show up to the game. You automatically already are a reader, a leader, a studier, a doer. It's just that right now you just need help of getting it over the goal line. You're just like, that athlete, that pro athlete who hires that strength coach or that weight coach and all of that to help them get over the goal line. And it's that you're not able to see the opportunities. Like sometimes you got to get out the mirror and you got to let someone else look at that viewpoint so that they can help you get through it, so that you can have that breakthrough. So if you're ready for that breakthrough, in the comments, put breakthrough. Like, girl, I need that breakthrough. And that third reason is me. I'm going to help you with this. I'm going to go all in for you. You can talk to the students that I work with. They will tell you that I am there for them. 25 years of solving problems and running business. That's over 9,300 days and counting, y'all. Helping people start and grow businesses while getting rid of all that stuff that's slowing them down. Now we're doing it with biblical principles. And throughout my whole, like I look back, we always had a little sprinkling of it there, but we were taught, oh yeah, you don't talk about Bible, you don't talk about politics when it comes to business. Yeah, I'm talking about God all the time, right? And our mission marketing system, and we simply take God's word with my experience and expertise, we add it to your forward momentum, what you got going, and we get your results. It's just that simple. We have the we have the game plan in place to get you started. And if you want to do that today, if you know you're ready, if we've already had that conversation, or you're watching this for the first time and you're like, yes, I want in, today you can get started for $4,997, guys. And or you can do 4 payments of 1497, and actually that's a typo. It should be 6 payments of 997. So I'll fix that. Why do we share the cost to get started up front? A lot of people don't. They'll do these webinars and you got to get on the phone call and then you got to talk to them. And I also, until I fix this, so it depends on when you're seeing it. If I go back and I'm going to fix that, if you can get that, I'm going to honor that, because that was my mistake and I'm going to live up to that mistake. So why do we share what the cost to get started up front versus trying to get you to book a call like everyone else? So if you're seeing this and you want in at that on a 4-month basis or whatever it is, just let me know, or you can do the 997, which is actually less than the 1497. So whatever you want. Why do we share the cost to get started up front instead of trying to get you to book a call like everyone else? Because I asked you up front, are you sick of doing business the old way? Are you sick of everybody just kind of like telling you, if you want to go to, Harvard or someplace like that, they tell you like what you need to do. We're not trying to hard sell you. I'm not trying to convince you to do anything. Just like it says here, you go to Harvard, you go to Yale, you go to prestigious academies. They let you know what it is, what it's going to cost. My niece is going to Penn State, and we knew $40,000 a year. It wasn't a surprise. It's 40. I mean, not even a year. $40,000 a semester. Okay, to go to Penn State. So that means what you don't get in the scholarships and all that, you got to pay for it. So up front. So you have to know. You can't count a cost and you can't make a decision if I don't let you know what it is. See, that's the difference between doing things God's way versus like, oh, let me do the okie dokie sneak attack you in the back. And I'm not saying people are doing that, but this is why I'm saying this is why we're going to lay it all out on the line, so you get to decide, is it for you? And you figured out a way to make it happen. And they also understand. See, we're seeking people who already have a desire to learn, to grow, and acquire new skills. We talked about what the word said about skills. They also understand that you got to pay to learn something. Every class that I've been through, every training that I go through, I pay to go through those trainings. Tens and thousands, like now it's probably like in a 40, 50, I don't know what it is, probably over 100,000 throughout my whole plus life. In Exodus 35:31, he says, and he has filled him with the Spirit of God, with skill, with intelligence, with knowledge, and with all the craftsmanship. See, some of you are blessed. Some of you have gotten filled with good gifts. Like, I promise you, I was like, you like, come on, let's talk. You could have gave me that like ability to be able to sing. Like everybody who knows me know I don't have a tone and I can't sing, but I'm always trying. So I didn't get filled with that skill, right? He gave me the skill of leadership, the skill of encouragement. That's the skill that I got. Or you got to go out and learn it. It said in Proverbs 22:29, do you see a man skillful in his work? He will stand before kings. He will not stand before obscure men. Now, there may not be kings today, but when you get skill sets, when you take, someone, and I'll just use LeBron because we're from the same hometown. from where he came from to what he's doing today and the transformation that he's making. He did that because he went and got better and he got skills. And now he stands before the presidents, the kings and queens and everybody knows his name, right? This class that we're talking about here, guys, the Genesis Get Going class, it will give you a combination of skills and knowledge that less than 5% of the population have. What does that mean for you? That means that you're going to understand business. You're going to understand marketing. You're going to understand sales. You're going to understand finances. You're going to have more knowledge, more impact, and that means you're going to make more money. So all you got to do is have a system in place to streamline your business cycle, make it simple, duplicatable, where if you're not doing it, you can teach some other people how to do it. And you can also bring your team. If you already have a team or you already have people working with you, you will get a discount if you want to bring them to become part of this as well. And we suggest that. Here's our business cycle: pray and praise. That's where we start. That's different. Tired of doing business the old-fashioned way? Tired of doing business like everyone else? We start with a pray and praise idea first. Like, you're gonna write down your prayer. We don't have like affirmations or our daily, like every day I read my promise prayer. That's what I call it, my promise prayer. I read it every morning, every night, sometimes during the day. You're going to come up with an idea. Don't worry about if you don't have an idea. We're going to help you with that. You're going to create an offer. You're going to market, promote, and advertise. We're going to teach you how to sell and close, how to deliver your service. Give God the thanks and the glory for it, because if it wasn't for him, you wouldn't be able to do this. And then wash, rinse, repeat, do it all over again. A simple cycle. Now, why is this a smart investment for you? Why do you want to make this investment? You can go get a college degree. I talked about what it's causing my niece. Like, here we go. Look at that, $40,000, $40,000 to $102,000 to get a degree. And you can look at some of the schools here at Wharton School of Business, $160,000. At MIT, $151,000. Harvard, $146,000. Stanford, Northwest. Now, I'm not poo-pooing them, but guess what? I guarantee you, 98% of them have never ran a business for themselves. 98% of them can never tell you what it feels like when things are going, you got to figure out a way to win. See, business isn't just about the system and the knowledge. It's that grit, that gut, having that ability to get up one more time and go for it. You get knocked down over and over and over again, and to get up and to fight and to know how to go for it and make it happen in your life. You can't put a price tag on that. See, you can duplicate my systems, but you can't duplicate the stories. You can't duplicate the emotions. They can't look you in the eye and say, hey, I know exactly how you feel when they came and took your car away, or when you lost your house, or your business partner cheated on you and took your money, or you got sued, or the IRS froze your bank accounts. Like, all of that stuff I've been through. So I can look you in the eye and say, it was just for a season, baby. You're going to be okay. You're going to get this. This is what the difference is between letting somebody from a traditional institution, and if I had to go into what they do to you in school and like what I really feel about that, that'll be a whole other story. What would serve you better? You got to ask yourself that. Spend $40,000 to $160,000 learning the skill and paying for classes that you will never use. Like, what does algebra have to do? Like, who in the comments, let me know if you've ever used algebra since you got out of high school or in college, or some of those like, I remember in college, I paid to take bowling. Like, I had to pay all of that money for activity that like for what? Like, because somebody said it? Like, come on, no. Or you get skills, knowledge, and confidence to learn marketing, to learn sales, to learn structure, to learn from someone who's been in business for 25 years, making things happen in the game, and helping you to get in there. And so our goal is to get you a return on your investment. And that's the purpose of, you're not spending the money, you're investing in the money. And the purpose of that is to get a return. So ask yourself, do you think you can get at least one client during the month anytime we're together? Have you ever gotten one client before in your life in any business that you have? If you got one and you got them to spend a dollar, if a dollar is no different than $10,000, you may think it's different. I used to think it's different, but it's not the same. It's going to still take the same process in order to convince. Actually, you're going to have to work even harder to convince people to give you $100 or less than it is to convince people to give you $10,000 or more. It is less. So that means we want to help you have a positive return. Now, some of you are probably having outbreaks like, oh, but I'm not you, Kathy. I can't do this. I don't have experience. I don't have credentials. I don't have, license or stuff like that. You don't have to. Neither did I before I had them, right? I always had a PhD. You don't need credentials. I got grit. I got gut. I fight for the name on the back of the jersey. That's what you got. If you got that, we can roll together. I'm not creative. Now, I must say I've always been creative. I love creating. But if you don't have to be, you can hire people to be creative for you. And it doesn't cost you a lot of money to do that. I can't sell anything. I think about the first time that I went to sell something. I sat at that client's house for 3 straight hours. I'm like not exaggerating, y'all, because I didn't know how to shut up. Like my mouth wouldn't stop because I just kept talking. I kept talking. I don't even remember if they bought anything or not, but I do remember being there for 3 hours because I didn't know how to shut up because I was so nervous that I didn't know what to say and I wasn't equipped, but I went out and did it anyway. We won't put you in that situation. We're going to give you exactly what to say, the scripts and all of that. I don't have that kind of money. Okay, maybe you don't, but now you know what you need. So go figure it out. Go, find 5 people and be like, hey, auntie, uncle, can I get $1,000? And I promise I'll pay it back to you because here's what I want to do. If you already took out one of those loans, these are things that you can use it for because we're going to show you, even there I said, if you do that, you got to know how to pay it back. We're going to show you how to do that without having all that interest and having to keep you in debt forever. I want to think about it. How long have you been thinking about being successful? How long have you been thinking about changing your life? How long have you been thinking about moving? How long have you been thinking about a new career? Aren't you tired of thinking? Aren't you ready to do? It's not that you don't want to, you got to think about it. We don't think about stuff. We already know the answer to whether we're going to do it or not. See, leaders make decisions. They don't think about it. They know they have enough in them to go out and make a decision. If you're married and you're like, well, I got to go talk to my spouse about it. You guys should have already had that conversation to say, honey, and I'm an entrepreneur. If something good comes, do I have your permission to go ahead and get it? And we got a budget. We have a plan in place so that I can make sure that I'm giving us the lifestyle that I told you that I would give you before we even got together, right? That's working together. That's already having a game plan. Not like leaders, they know when to seize the moment and go for it. Not because they've gone through it so much. They know what looks good. Now they may ask a few questions in that time, which you should do if you need clarity, but they know or I need to talk with who? What are you talking? Because the only person you should be talking to is somebody who has what you want or has more than what you want. Stop getting advice from broke friends. If it's 5 of y'all, if it's 4 of your broke friends, you'll be number 5. If it's 5 of y'all always talking about what happened in high school, what you gonna do, how you gonna do it, but you never do it, you'll be number 6. Whoever you're surrounding yourself with and hanging out with, that's who you're going to become. Is that what you want? So before you go to another man or woman for advice, go to God first. That is the first person you should go to advice for. The second is, as he says, seek wise counsel. Wise means somebody who has what I want, not somebody who's struggling, right? You can struggle by yourself, right? You do bad by yourself. What other alternative do you have to create the lifestyle and business you desire? Like there's tons of them out there. If this is not for you, then don't do it. I get that. Just don't do it. Go find something that's for you. Remember, we're not trying to convince you. We are not preachers. We are just teachers and believers of God's word. So we will be using it and helping you and sharing it. And that is our go-to on how to do it. And then we're going to take that skill of that marketing and that sales and that advertising, and we're going to teach that to you so that you can make that happen for you. What do you want to do now? See, now it's decision time. You either got to say, I'm all in or I'm all out. Like, that's all. Those are only two decisions that you're going to make. Either at this point, you've already left, or you're watching this during the replay, or you're like, I'm all in or I'm all out. That's what you want to decide right there. And if you're that person who's like, okay, I'm ready for this, I'm all in, what you want to do is go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/order. Take a screenshot of this. I should have made that link clickable. When I redo this, I will, but take a screenshot of it. Go to BibleBusinessAcademy.com/order. You're going to see this right here. And all you do is step one, put in your name, your email address, and the phone number, and you click that blue button there that says, yes, I'm ready to join Bible Business Academy now. This is a $13,000 value, and we call that value stack of all the stuff that you're going to get. Now, I showed you all the courses and all that. I didn't even value stack it all out, but that's a $13,000 a value stack, one easy payment of $4,997. Or you could do the 6 easy monthly payments of $997, guys. And you also get a 6-month guarantee on this. So if you stick with me, you go through this entire thing for 6 months and it does not work out for you, you have it, and you did everything that we told you to do, and you have not made your money back, guess what? We'll refund you everything that you put in. Plus, I think I throw in $100 bonus. What is that? I don't know. Go get you some food or something, whatever it is. 6-month guarantee. Who gets out a 6-month guarantee? Nobody. Why do we do that? Because we're 100% confident that what we do works. And again, in Proverbs 15:22, without counsel, plans fail, but with many advisors, they succeed. Once you put that information, you click number 2 where it says access and secure your seat. That's where you're going to put your information in with your credit card, and all of that information is a secure site. Once you put that in, it will click you through a thank you page, check your email, and the classes will start this coming Monday. So be ready for that. Before then, we'll be reaching out to you, talking to you, having an onboarding and conversation. So what you want to do is grab a pen and paper. Once you get inside of there, because I put my personal cell phone number in there so that you'll have access to me. Just text me, let me know who you are, that you already joined. We'll probably even call you first unless you're doing this while we're asleep. Check your email for the instructions, and be ready to get started. I said Monday. On Tuesday morning at 6 a.m. is when you're going to get your first lesson, and be ready for that. And then every single Tuesday morning, you'll get a message in your email just telling you exactly what to do. And we also have a classroom that once these lessons hit your email, then they will be posted in your classroom, and you'll have lifetime access to that classroom. And then also every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, we hop on the live together where I go over our last lesson, answer any questions that you have. We do the reviews, and if you have, and that's on a Zoom, so you have to be inside of here in order to get that link and to get help with that. And if you have questions, or you can't meet it, or you're doing something, or you can't show up at that time, that's okay. We'll have a place where you can put your questions and leave them to us, and we will get back to you. Now, I realize in closing, guys, that some of you may still have questions, and I get it. $5,000 for some is nothing. It's a drop in the bucket. For some of you guys, it's a huge decision. It can completely wipe you out, or you don't even have it. So you got questions, and you just want to get some clarity. So if you do that, you want to go to Calendly, CALENDLY.com, call Kathy / that. You'll see my schedule there. And what you do is just click on one of them. Right now, if you go on there, you can book something on the 19th, 20th, and the 21st. Go ahead and book that appointment out. You'll also get a questionnaire that you need to fill out. Fill out that questionnaire, get all of that stuff answered, and then I'm doing this with like 20 people over the next week or so. and I'll personally be on there with you to answer your questions. Now, if we need to get on a Zoom call, we can do that. We'll do that over the phone, whatever it takes to get you 100% comfortable that it makes sense for us to work together. So if you got questions before you make that decision, you can go to calendarly.com, call Kathy, and Kathy will be there to talk to you. Welcome to the family, y'all. I'm excited. I'm excited for your success. I'm excited for what this could do for you. I'm excited as to how it can change your life and the difference that it can make for you. I'm looking on here now. I don't see any questions. If you have any questions, go ahead. This is your time to let me know, and all of that other wonderful stuff. If you don't, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And I can't wait to help you change your life, to make a difference, and to be able to give God all the praise and the honor and the glory for choosing and honoring his word that you may create wealth, and that he allows us to do it together so that you can go out there and you can change the lives of your family and get your heart's desire. Appreciate you guys. Have a blessed and wonderful day.